Getting ready to talk with Mr. Jim Porter, Second Vice President of the National Rifle Association. Now, this is I'm always a little confused on the last day of the NRA annual meeting because, as I said, the board meetings will continue on tomorrow and Tuesday. And, Jim, you are still Second Vice President today, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on the program, sir. It's great seeing you.
Always a pleasure, Cam, and greatly appreciate what you do.
Well, listen, it's my privilege to be able to do this and talk with folks from around the country. And I got to tell you, this has been such a great weekend. I've been able to see so many listeners, and it's just been fantastic to get a chance to meet everybody.
Well, it's a family gathering or family reunion for me, and it's so wonderful to be around like-minded people with such a wonderful mission and movement that we have, and It's just great to all be here together.
And when you say so many, you're not kidding. It looks like we're going to set another record this year.
Huge. More people than we've ever had, and it's just getting bigger.
You know, and that's fantastic because I know so many groups that are holding their conventions these last couple of years have seen their numbers decline. You know, the economy's not great, and we know that for some folks it is a hardship to save up the money so that they can come out to an event like this, but yet year after year, this event is so important to so many people that if this is their one trip that they make, it's going to be to the NRA annual meeting. And that says so much, I think, about this organization and its members.
Right. Well, you look at Pittsburgh, and Pennsylvania has just thousands and thousands of NRA members, but you've got people here from Wisconsin, you've got them from Ohio, you've got them from New York. You've got them from all over, and they come in to be part and participate again in this freedom movement that we're all engaged in.
Yeah,
and it continues to grow because we're on the right side of the issue, and we're one of the few that are leading that fight.
You've got that right. Now, have you had the opportunity to actually get out and walk the aisles here in the exhibit hall?
Oh, definitely. That's the most fun about the whole meeting. That's why I get a little antsy when we're in there at the actual meeting. I want to get out and go to the store and play with all the toys like everybody else.
I know. Have you seen anything that's caught your eye?
Well, I'd hate to single out anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot that has caught my eye. My wife stays close by to be sure that I'm able to get everything home without having to float alone at the bank.
Yeah, that's funny. My wife is on speed dial, and so I will call her and say, okay, what about this? Okay, I'll call you back in a couple minutes. Okay, what about this? So, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now, Jim, you know, we talk about some of the threats that gun owners are facing right now. I mean, you know, on the surface, it may seem like we're in a really good spot right now. We've had the Heller decision. We've had the McDonald decision. I think we've got a pro-gun Congress right now. It may be easy, I think, for some gun owners to think, hey, you know what, I don't need to get off the couch. I don't need to get active and involved. I can wait a few months. You know, elections aren't until next year for president and for the federal races. Why should people be getting involved right now?
Well, Cam, you know, first of all, I'd like to say that we believers in the Second Amendment are not second-class citizens. And for too long, we've been treated like second-class citizens. We're going to stand up for our rights. We're going to continue to fight for our rights. And we're co-equal, in my opinion, certainly with the First Amendment in importance to the freedoms of this country. And we're still being treated like second-class citizens by the United States government. And we're going to make a concerted effort to really put some teeth into these legal victories that we've had. We still get nickel and dimed on some of these legal issues, and there's no excuse in it. And I, for one, am just not going to tolerate it.
Yeah.
But again, we are co-equal. We have rights, and we're going to stand up for those rights, and we're going to prosecute those rights.
You know, I know one of the cases that the NRA is involved with right now is the Heller 2 case challenging Washington, D.C.'s gun laws after their handgun ban was overturned by the Supreme Court. And I read a story just the other day. This tells you, you know, again, how you need those teeth The Supreme Court told Washington, D.C., your gun ban can't stand, your storage laws can't stand. And they went back and they crafted new restrictive gun laws. There's one guy in Washington, D.C. right now, one FFL, who will do a transfer. So if you want to own a gun in Washington, D.C., because there are no gun stores, you got to go to Maryland, you got to go to Virginia, and then you have to transfer it to this one individual. And he's not doing transfers anymore, which means as of right now in Washington, D.C., it is once again impossible for people to become a legal gun owner. And that, to me, is ridiculous. After the Heller decision, after the McDonald decision. But, again, this is our opponents are going to continue to put up as many roadblocks as they can to stand between us and our rights.
Well, now the trend is, and with our enemies when they go into court, is the United States government's position is that the right to keep and bear arms is merely to be able to keep a pistol for self-defense in your home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's, how silly is that? But each and every roadblock they throw up in front of us, we're going to knock it down, and we're going to more aggressively go after these impediments put up in front of us. The BATF activities that they're engaged in, clearly unconstitutional, clearly illegal. And again, we're going to be more aggressive in fighting to breathe some life into those legal victories that we've had.
Yeah. And so, again, while on the surface it may look like we are in a very good place, and I think we are actually in a good place, we need to make sure that that foundation is strong. We need to make sure that we're strengthening our rights right now and not allowing others to weaken it. And, Wayne and Chris have talked about the importance of next year's election. Can you imagine, Jim, if, President Obama is able to appoint 2 or 3 justices to the Supreme Court, what our legal right to keep and bear arms would look like afterwards?
Well, the overwhelming majority of the people in this country certainly believe in the right to keep and bear arms. And I'm talking about 70 and 80% of the people in this country.
Yes.
There's a small minority of people who happen to be governing now that are not for anyone possessing or having firearms other than themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's really an elitist type viewpoint. But we're going to be more aggressive in bringing home these legal victories in Heller and McDonald to the rank and file member and to the everyday citizen in this country. I am tired of being treated like a second-class citizen. My constitutional rights are just as valid and just as important as anyone else's, and we're going to be more aggressive in fighting to protect those and to prosecute those into breathing life into this constitutional amendment, into the Constitution and our constitutional rights for all American citizens.
Jim Porter, NRA Second Vice President, thank you so much, sir, for joining us today, and look forward to talking again very soon.
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you, sir.